Good morning. Today I'm going to read Miss Rumphius by Barbara Cooney. She did the story and the pictures. And it's very bright in this morning light. Miss Rumphius. Look at the pretty flowers. Those are called lupins. We'll hear about them a lot in this book. This says, to St. Nicholas, patron saint of children, sailors, and maidens. There's a picture of Miss Rumphius. Looks like she's standing on the steps outside a hotel looking out at the ocean. Over a little town, lots of boats. Looks like it's winter. There's snow on everything. The Lupin Lady lives in a small house overlooking the sea. In between the rocks around her house grow blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. The Lupin Lady is little and old, but she has not always been that way. I know. She is my great aunt, and she told me so. Once upon a time, she was a little girl named Alice, who lived in a city by the sea. From the front stoop, she could see the wharves and the bristling masts of tall ships. Many years ago, her grandfather had come to America on a large sailing ship. That means he was an immigrant to America. Such a beautiful place. Let's see. Oh, there's Alice. Looks like she's painting. There's an older man. Looks like he's working on something on a table. Not sure what else is going on. Let's see. Yeah. Sorry, it's kind of hard to hold all this. See, there's another shop. Looks like a cigar shop. A man and part of a boat. Now he worked in the shop at the bottom of the house, making figureheads for the prows of ships and carving Indians out of wood to put in front of cigar shops. For Alice's grandfather was an artist. He painted pictures too of sailing ships and places across the sea. When he was very busy, Alice helped him put in the skies. Oh, that's what's going on. He's carving wood, and she's helping him paint in the skies on his paintings. Oh, let's see. It's Alice sitting on her grandfather's lap in front of a fireplace with a kitty. Looks like maybe that's her grandmother in the kitchen. In the evening, Alice sat on her grandfather's knee and listened to his stories of faraway places. When he had finished, Alice would say, "When I grow up, I too will go to faraway places. And when I grow old, I too will live beside the sea." "That is all very well, little Alice," said her grandfather, "but there is a third thing you must do." "What is that?" asked Alice. "You must do something to make the world more beautiful," said her grandfather. "All right," said Alice, but she did not know what that could be. In the meantime, Alice got up and washed her face and ate porridge for breakfast. She went to school and came home and did her homework. And pretty soon she was grown up. Let's see. Looks like Alice is all grown up. That must be her. And looks like she's in a library, maybe. Have you ever been in a library like that? This is, I don't know what that is. It's a building. Maybe that's the library on the outside. Then my great aunt Alice set out to do the 3 things she had told her grandfather she was going to do. She left home and went to live in another city far from the sea and the salt air. There she worked in a library, dusting books and keeping them from getting mixed up, and helping people find the ones they wanted. Some of the books told her about faraway places. People called her Miss Rumphius now. I guess her last name is Rumphius. Looks like that's Miss Rumphius in the snow walking towards a, what do you call that? You call that a nursery or a conservatory, place where they grow flowers on the inside when it's cold. Here she is inside of it, looking at the plants, flowers. Have you ever been in one of those? Very nice. Sometimes she went to the conservatory in the middle of the park. When she stepped inside on a wintry day, the warm, moist air wrapped itself around her, and the sweet smell of jasmine filled her nose. "This is almost like a tropical isle," said Miss Rumphius, "but not quite." Still have to bundle up. Ooh, looks like she is on a tropical isle there. See all the kids? She's talking to somebody. He's giving her something. Are those monkeys and birds? There's a bird. So, Miss Rumphius went to a real tropical island where people kept cockatoos and monkeys as pets. She walked on long beaches picking up beautiful shells. One day she met the Bapa Raha, king of a fishing village. "You must be tired," he said. "Come into my house and rest." So Miss Rumphius went in and met the Bapa Raja's wife. Not sure how to say that. The Bapa Raja himself fetched a green coconut and cut a slice off the top so that Miss Rumphius could drink the coconut water inside. Before she left, the Bapa Raja gave her a beautiful mother-of-pearl shell on which he had painted a bird of paradise and the words, "You will always remain in my heart." "You will always remain in mine too," said Miss Rumphius. Is that somebody climbing a mountain in the snow? And over here we have, looks like Miss Rumphius is riding a camel in the desert. Beautiful, beautiful place. My great aunt Miss Alice Rumphius climbed tall mountains where the snow never melted. She went through jungles and across deserts. She saw lions playing and kangaroos jumping, and everywhere she made friends she would never forget. Finally, she came to the land of the lotus eaters, and there, getting off a camel, she hurt her back. "What a foolish thing to do," said Miss Rumphius. "Well, I have certainly seen faraway places. Maybe it is time to find my place by the sea." And it was, and she did. Ooh, that's a beautiful house by the sea, isn't it? Is it a cat? Oh, there's a mouse. There she is on the porch, looking out over the water. Shh. There's her mailbox. From the porch of her new house, Miss Rumphius watched the sun come up. She watched it across the heavens and sparkle on the water, and she saw it set in glory in the evening. She started a little garden among the rocks that surrounded her house, and she planted a few flower seeds in the stony ground. Miss Rumphius was almost perfectly happy. "But there is still one more thing I have to do," she said. "I have to do something to make the world more beautiful." "But what? The world is already pretty nice," she thought, looking out over the ocean. How can she make it more beautiful? Oh, she's in bed. She must be feeling sick or hurt. Beautiful window. See the flowers? Looks like it's cold and wintry. The next spring, Miss Rumphius was not very well. Her back was bothering her again, and she had to stay in bed most of the time. The flowers she had planted the summer before had come up and bloomed in spite of the stony ground. She could see them from her bedroom window, blue and purple and rose-colored. "Lupins," said Miss Rumphius with satisfaction. "I have always loved lupins the best. I wish I could plant more seeds this summer so that I could have still more flowers next year." But she was not able to. Maybe her back was still bothering her that summer. After a hard winter, spring came. Miss Rumphius was feeling much better. Now she could take walks again. One afternoon, she started to go up and over the hill where she had not been in a long time. "I don't believe my eyes," she cried when she got to the top, for there on the other side of the hill was a large patch of blue and purple and rose-colored lupins. "It was the wind," she said as she knelt in delight. "It was the wind that brought the seeds from my garden here, and the birds must have helped." Then Miss Rumphius had a wonderful idea. Ooh, look how pretty. Lupins spread all by themselves. The wind and the birds carried the seeds, and the seeds grew. She hurried home and got out her seed catalogs. She sent off to the very best seed house for 5 bushels of lupin seed. All that summer, Miss Rumphius, her pockets full of seeds, wandered over fields and headlands, sowing lupins. She scattered seeds along the highways and down the country lanes. She flung handfuls of them around the schoolhouse and back of the church. She tossed them into hollows and along stone walls. Her back didn't hurt her any more at all. Now some people called her that crazy old lady. Here she is. She must be ordering them from catalogs. Let's see how this looks. Oh, look. Everybody's watching her. She's walking around, sowing seeds from her pockets up and down the hills. The cat follows her everywhere, huh? The next spring, there were lupins everywhere. Fields and hillsides were covered with blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. They bloomed along the highways and down the lanes. See the flowers. Bright patches lay around the schoolhouse and back of the church. Down in the hollows and along the stone walls grew the beautiful flowers. Miss Rumphius had done the most difficult thing of all. Do you remember what that was? Everybody likes the flowers. My great Aunt Alice, Miss Rumphius, is very old now. Her hair is very white. Every year there are more and more lupins. Now they call her the Lupin Lady. Sometimes my friends stand with me outside her gate, curious to see the old lady who planted the fields of lupins. When she invites us in, they come slowly. They think she is the oldest woman in the world. Often she tells us stories of faraway places. When I grow up, I tell her, I too will go to faraway places and come home to live by the sea. That is all very well, little Alice, says my aunt, but there is a third thing you must do. What is that, I ask. You must do something to make the world more beautiful. All right, I say. There's all the kids listening to her tell stories of faraway places. Sitting by the fire eating cookies, it looks like. Maybe cookies and hot chocolate. She's got one of those birds. That must be young Alice. But I don't know yet what that can be. There's Alice running down the hill with an armful of lupins. Her friends picking lupins too. Wouldn't that be fun to be able to pick all the lupins you wanted? The end. This tells you about the story in the book, how it was illustrated. Hope you liked it.